Welcome back to Magoo's Views. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. This is my review for X-Men 97, Episode 8, called Tolerance's Extension Part 1. It's my spoilers review. It's my spoilers review. I'm talking spoilers in this review, so if you haven't seen it yet, go click off the video. Please check the episode out. Come back and check out the review. This is excellent, man. One thing, I was telling a couple of friends of mine, I think X-Men 97, my personal opinion, is the best thing Marvel has done in a very long time. Talk in terms of quality. I don't care if it's live action or animation. This is just top-notch great stuff, man. I've always been an advocate for animation, especially in the superhero genre, because there's so much you can do, even with the small cameos that are in here, and I'll dive deeper into that into the review. But you can do so much with animation. I mean, going back to 93 with Batman Max of the Phantasm, you know what I mean? So if you tell the right story, man, you can get some great things out of animation, especially with the whole superhero thing. But diving into the review, this was a very good episode, man. Like, the stakes got higher. My personal opinion, the stakes got higher. It starts off with the X-Men and the X-Mansion, and Cable is giving the team the rundown. I think Cyclops is there, Jean, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, Morph, Rogue. She's still out of commission. She got knocked unconscious in the fight with Bolivar Trask in the previous episode. So she's still out. We know what happened with Gambit. He's gone. And Storm, she's off for Forge right now. So certain members are scattered. They lost Remy. But this was great, man, because Cable is telling the pretty much what Bastion's plan is and how he uses Sentinel technology on humans. But, I think Wolverine said, somebody said, oh, so it's another dystopia. He's like, no, this isn't a dystopia, it's a utopia. But what they do is, in the future, they use mutants like slaves to build their utopia. So it's very heavy episode, man. It's very heavy, And I mean, just starting off, so what happens is the team breaks up into two. You see Cyclops, Jean, and Cable, they go off to, Bastion's childhood neighborhood, whereas the rest of them, Beast, Nightcrawler, Wolverine, all of them still at the mansion. And man, all just breaks loose. Jubilee and Jubilee and Sunspot, they're still, over, his mother's place and everything like that. But as the episode goes on, you start seeing the humans, the Sentinel technology just take them over, like some zombie type stuff. As Cyclops, Cable, and Jean go over to Bastion's neighborhood, that's when everything just goes crazy. His mom, she turns into it. But fast forward back into Bastion, you see him, he's talking to Mr. Sinister, talking to, Cooper and everything like that, and he's just giving out his plan. I'm like, man, he's wild, man. That's what's one thing about the X-Men, bro. The X-Men's villains are extremely OP. They're extremely OP. It goes back into his background and how he got his powers and stuff like that. So it's great, man. I mean, in the beginning of the review, I was talking about the cameos. Even in here, you see him you see Bastion talking to Dr. Zoom. You see him talking to Baron Zemo. So I was surprised when I saw that. I was like, oh, wow. Man, and it gets hectic, man. So going back to where Cable, Jean, and Cyclops are, they're starting to see little drawings of him, what he did when he was younger, of Sentinels, taking over and stuff like that. And his mom, it's kind of like, and the one thing I said about this episode, and I think it was one of the previous episodes, it has a horror element to it. The episode with Madeline Pryor. There's like an element of horror to this one. Like, she just kind of, does this little exorcist move, and she changes into the Sentinel. So now they're trying to fend her off. Now the whole neighborhood is going after Cable, Jean, and Cyclops. So yeah, they're trying to jet off to the X-Jet. Fast forward back into the mansion. That's when you see, I think her name is Tilly, one of the news reporters who was interviewing Beast. She changes, knocks out Beast. Now you see Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Morph trying to fend her off. And I said it before, man, Morph has some great moments in this whole season where he just changes into, I think he did Psylocke one time. He did, I think, Magic and Colossus. This time he changes into Juggernaut. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh, snap. I mean, he still got knocked out, but it was cool. It was cool. And Wolverine had a great moment, man. I mean, he just had like a Skyfall moment where he's in the air and all the Sentinel robots, they're just coming after him. I mean, the human Sentinels, like the hybrids. And he's just slashing as he's, skydiving down. He's just slashing them apart. Nightcrawler, man, you see Nightcrawler with the swords, and him and Wolverine have a great moment where they're fighting back to back, trying to fend them off. And there's a really cool scene where you actually see what happens when Nightcrawler teleports, because Wolverine stabs one of the hybrids as Nightcrawler's teleporting, and you see the animation was amazing, man, how they did it. It was so cool. I said, wow, I never seen that before. That's one thing about this show. I said it before, man. They just keep raising the stakes, man. Storytelling. And I think that's the main thing I love. I'm in love with the storytelling first. The action is second, but because the storytelling is so good, man, when the action happens, it hits. You know what I mean? It really does hit. So that was really cool, man. And Magneto, he's still captured, but Cooper, she releases Magneto. Okay. And now this is where it gets crazy. So as Magneto gets released and everything like that, you still see the Sentinels, the hybrid Sentinels, human and the human with the Sentinel technology. They're just going haywire on everywhere. Even Jubilee and Sunspot, they're having their problems. And it was a very sad moment where Sunspot and Jubilee, they run to their mom. He runs to his mom, and right there, she's a woman, with a lot of prestige, and she holds a lot of weight. He comes from money. As they're, the Sentinels are running behind him, pretty much say, hey, we're not here to kill your son, we're here to arrest him. And she says to her own son, listen to the men. And I don't know if that's because she didn't want everybody to know her son is a mutant, but it was a very sad moment, man. That was very, very, very sad. I think the Sunspot and Jubilee, I haven't been as interested in that, but that moment right there really got me. I was like, oh, wow, that's pretty sad. She kind of turned on her son like that. But, yeah, man, as we see Magneto gets released, because Sinister calls Bastion's like, hey, she released Magneto. Bro, you see Magneto go to, like, the North Pole, where the polar caps are, and he just lets off this, like, electromagnetic wave that just covers the whole Earth. All the Sentinels just fall. They just fall. And I'm like, you realize how powerful Magneto really is. Like, and I saw that, I said, man, Magneto is no joke. Literally, he's no joke. I mean, the X-Men, like I said, from Apocalypse, Magneto, Sinister, they got some villains where they like, man, you don't want to go up against those guys and get them to that point where they just go off. But like Wolverine said at the end of the episode, he says, man, Magneto just declared war. So we're going to see what happens in episode 9. But I stated in the last previous episodes, the moment I was really looking forward to happened at the end of this episode. You see an alien ship crash land right in front of the X-Mansion. Pop out, it's Xavier. Wolverine and Morph see him, and Wolverine's face is just like, oh, snap. Xavier's here. And, man, he has a moment where he says, come see me, my X-Men. You see him trying to reach all the X-Men to come to him. So I'm really looking forward to see what happens in episode 9. Going back to the cameos, man, another great moment was when that Magneto was letting off like that electromagnetic force around the Earth. Man, it shows Spider-Man. Anybody knows, man, Spider-Man, Batman, my favorite superheroes. I can't pick between which one I love the most. It's always been like a tie ever since I was a kid. It still is a tie, man. When I saw Spider-Man, I lost it. I was like, oh, man, Spider-Man, because, there's rumors if, like, hey, man, if this X-Men season is successful, you might get a season 2, and they might do a Spider-Man 98. I would love to see that. You see Silver Samurai, you see Omega Red, so they've done a great job, even just with placing the cameos in there. It's not just like, oh, here's a cameo just for a cameo. You see, like, as everything is going around, you see, like, the other heroes in that same universe. So, yeah, man, this was a great episode. Absolutely great. I know I've been grading them. Man, this is a 9 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10. Like I said, I really wasn't too intrigued with the whole Sunspot and Jubilee, everything going on with them. But that moment between Sunspot and his mother, that was pretty, heartbreaking. Other than that, man, this has been a great show so far. I can't wait to review the last 2 episodes. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment in the comment section. Hope everybody has a blessed day. And, hey, let me know what's your favorite moment in this episode. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a spoilers review. I already said in the beginning of the video, so you can't get mad at me. Take it easy.